So this is the room. This is the room that Sitting Bull surrendered in. And we know that by the documentation of the Army that Brotherton met him on the porch and invited him to the parlor on the right. This was called the parlor. And at that time, that was the outside wall. And you would have had the bay windows, the only bay windows in Dakota Territory. So, you know, after the Battle of Little Bighorn, the Indians were not there because they figured they were going to fight with the Army. They were there because they were going to follow the buffalo. And, but the Army happened upon, so they had the Battle of the Little Bighorn. After that, they were packing up and they were going to still follow the buffalo. And since the Army was kind of mad at them, they started following the Indians. They'd have different skirmishes. So Sitting Bull decided to take his tribe up to Canada. The Canadian government said, yeah, you can stay here, that's fine. But you are an American, and we're not going to feed you, and we're not going to clothe you, but you can stay here as long as you don't cause problems. So that's what they did. That first year, they were up there following the buffalo. Then the buffalo migrated back down south, and then it never came back up there again. So then there was no food up there. So they were starting to starve. And the government wanted them so bad that they would burn the grass along the border. And therefore, none of the animals could go up there. Every once in a while, a buck would come back down and he would hunt them on the United States side. But the Army was always right there and chasing them back. So with his people starving, he has to make a decision. What should I do? He finally consents that he's going to come in. Now 6 months earlier, before Sitting Bull comes in, Chief Gall comes and he brings part of his tribe. And he also brings with him Sitting Bull's daughter.
Thank you.
She had married one of the Indians in his tribe. So now Sitting Bull's missing his daughter, wondering where she's at. So he consents to come in. As soon as he sends word down here to Major Brotherton, he hurries up and he sends Captain Clifford up to meet him halfway. Well, Sitting Bull knew Captain Clifford. He was an Indian agent in the earlier years, and he trusted him. He knew him. So Clifford meets him halfway. He takes wagons of food and blankets and clothes, and they camp out the night. July 19th, 1881, they come in, and this is called Officers Row, right by this window here. So the whole troops come through here. They go all the way down to the river. They take a left, and they set up their teepees in approximately where the parking lot would be at the interpretive center. And right over there, you can see a picture of their teepees as they set them up. They really look ragged, don't they? They had no other buffalo to make teepees again. And Sitting Bull did say no pictures of his tribe was to be taken of. So, he brought back with him 187 of his followers. Out of the 187, how many horses do you think they brought back with them? This is a horse culture people. Any idea? 10. Do we know why?
Ate them.
Yes, they were starving. So they no sooner get over there and they relieve them of their horses. They relieve them of all their weaponry, and only Sitting Bull was left to keep his Winchester rifle carbine for the ceremony the next day. So when the next day comes, they go and they escort him over here, and that's where they said Brotherton meets him at the door, invites him to the parlor. And when Sitting Bull comes in, he not only just comes in by himself, he brings his 32 Sioux warriors with him. So it's July 20th, 1881, and the day is described as hot and humid. 32 in here, can you guys imagine? We not only have those, we got 4 Army officers. We got Major Brotherton, of course. We got Captain Illies, and he is from Fort Keogh in Miles City. Well, Sitting Bull can't stand him. They've had many skirmishes back and forth. We have Captain Bell and Captain Clifford. We also have an interpreter called George Fleury. And we have a Canadian mounted called MacDonald. He was out here. He was a Scotsman. We have Laguerre. Laguerre is a post-trader from up in Canada. And he'd been helping Sitting Bull out. He also helped finance the trip coming down here. Anyone know why he came down with those guys? He had a bill he wanted to submit to the American people, and he didn't know who he should submit that to. $10,000 he wants to get paid. Good luck with that. He did get paid many, many years later. He got half of that. So you have all these people in this room here. Oh, one more people. We have a newspaper guy out here. This is desolate out here. Why would a newspaper guy even come out here? How would he have even heard that SittingBull was coming? Nobody knew that. Well, our interpretation, we think that because we know that he's a very, very smart man, we think that SittingBull let that be known to the newspaper guy. Pioneer Press. We figure that he told it. He wants his story told. He wants it still told his way. He doesn't want it the white man's way. So we have all these people in this room right here. And it said that SittingBull sat there for a few moments. It's like he's sitting there contemplating his whole life. And then he turns around and he addresses his 32 Sioux warriors. That has never been interpreted. We don't know what he said. He does know how to speak English, but when he's with white people, he talks Lakota. So then the next time he turns around, he hands his rifle to his son Crowfoot, who was 6 at that time. Crowfoot hands it to Major Brotherton, and as he's doing that, SittingBull is saying that I can no longer teach my children. It is now up to the white man to teach them the white man's way. And this happened here. We're very lucky we have this building. When a fort is decommissioned, everything's got to go. And this building is no exception. This building was sold for $25. But the lucky part about this building is the quartermaster bought the land, he bought this building, and he bought the commanding officer's building. And his house, he used that as his house and museum, burnt down. But we still have this place. His Winchester rifle is at the Smithsonian Institute, but we have the space. So, any questions?
What's this outline here?
You know, when I was an 8th grader, I don't want to say my age there, this was our field trip coming out this way. And at that time, it was not owned by the State Historical Society, it was owned by a group of guys from Williston that knew that this was a famous place, and they fixed it up as a museum. And these were display cases that filled from the floor down to the top. It was so full you could barely move here. When the State Historical Society took over, all that stuff's been moved down to their State Historical Society.